Hey, how you doing? My name's Chris Robson. I'm a video game developer. I'm also autistic, and I also have cerebral palsy, so that makes me extra awesome. Anyway, that's not what this is about. So this happened to me, what you're seeing right about there, okay? Someone stole my Gmail. Um, Basically, in my case, they actually stole my YouTube account, and this is how I resolved it. So, firstly, how it happened to me, I got sent some emails. It looked legitimate. It was for a piece of software similar to the kind I already use to mirror screens so that you can use a terminal in another room. And so I emailed them and said like, oh, that's cool. I'm not looking for a sponsorship because it was like a YouTube sponsorship thing. Do you have like a version that I can look at as a demo? Not realising this was literally a scam. I thought it was like a legitimate company because I'd looked up the name of the company and all this kind of thing. I got sent a duff link, downloaded it, and it stole straight away my accesses to everything. Okay, now what it did in my case I'll come to, but we'll talk about what if this has happened to you, because that's more important. So, if you're on the spectrum, like myself, this can be overwhelming. You can be in an absolute panic, okay? Because what you may not realise, and I hope you do, is that you have one Google account that you're using really to sign into a lot of different services. So you've got your Gmail, but you've also got all your documents, all your Google Photographs if you use that. You've got, let me think, your YouTube account, any kind of Hangouts and things like that that you also have. All of your SSOs, which are your single sign-ons, they're connected to it too. And then on top of that, you've got all sorts of other things. Like if you have Google devices in your home, they're not going to work anymore. If you have an Android telephone, it's not going to work anymore because that one account controls everything. Okay, deep breath. Because I was like spinning in my chair for about a week. Okay, this was a lot to me. Now, I have a 15-year-old YouTube account that's got 10,000 subs, and well, if you're watching this on it now, you'll understand. This is my YouTube channel. I normally use it for game dev stuff, and before that I used it for 3D stuff. And the reason mine would have been hacked, I was very, very lucky actually in many ways, but mine had been hacked because the hacker had taken it, and what they'd done is they've made it into a clone of an American investment website, and they'd started posting fake YouTube videos that link to all sorts of thievery sites, immediately. Now, how to solve this? Okay, well, firstly, one, don't panic too much. Okay, it's easy to panic, it's easy to get really lost in your own head. Okay, what you need to do is just take a deep breath. And then look, is the fix going to be simple? Now, you'll have been sent a load of emails, okay? Because what normally happens is this. Your primary email account, which is, the one that you used when you first set up your Gmail, is emailed. And it's like, you are now no longer the backup email address. We have also, changed your password. We have also, if you've got like two-factor authentication on, they can immediately turn that off depending on the nature of the hack, things like this. So they did all of that. Now, for me, the fix wasn't simple. For you, it could just be a case that, someone has found a copy of your password and they've logged on and they've changed it. Simple maliciousness. In that case, all you have to do, if it's a relatively simple one, is just how to recover your Google account. If you type it in, okay, I know there's a lot of words here, but just follow the steps here to recover your Google account or email. It'll open a new window, you put in all the details you can remember, and that will recover it. Again, we're not talking about lost passwords here. We're talking about if you know that it's been taken and you can't access backup things to get in. Now, if it gets more complicated than this, which it might well do, because in my case, the hacker, they were operating out of Russia, mimicking an American website, and they used a USB key to lock the Google account, like a proper hardware key. Now, I don't do that because I tend to go around several different machines, and it's kind of inconvenient for me. But they did that, and the reason is because if they do that, I can't bypass this hardware key. Now, another thing is when you set up your Google account, it will actually give you written down keys that you can save, that you can use to log back into your account with. Okay, like in a complete emergency. Now, I'd made my Google account a long, long time ago. I've had like formats and formats since then, so mine was gone. I mean, if you're anything like me, you know, it's like your organisation's like, you know, that's it. So having the camera up there is really inconvenient. It needs to be here, not here. Well, my screen needs to be up in the sky, one of the two. Anyway, recover your password using this. If this doesn't work, which it might not, then you have to talk to someone, but not by phone. Now, Google is huge, like mind-blowingly huge. So getting in touch with someone with it is, on the telephone, just no, it's not going to happen. Now, if it's easier, get someone to help with this, okay, because it's really a thing where we're going to have to kind of interact with people, and with me, I have language issues where, you know, it's hard for me to put across what I'm trying to explain, and I get over encumbered by words, you know, too many of them are just like, pow, mind blown. So, I mean, this was pretty hard. And then we get into the next bit, which is we go to Twitter. Now, there's no one specific pathway to do this, okay? There's a few different ones, and it's going to be based on what has happened to you and how you need to resolve it. And if you do not have, you know, an ASD diagnosis, and, you know, you don't have that, you can still do this, but obviously don't do what I'm going to do, which is mention the nature of my disability and I have difficulty understanding things, okay, like this. I mean, none of us are thick, but, you know, this much word is difficult. Anyway, let's get back to what we were doing. So, I had to find a way to contact Google, okay, and you can't email them. This form here is like an endless loop. If you can't recover your account using this, you just go round and round and round. Now, there is a Google support, what do you call it? A Google support forum. And if I just go down to over here and go into my secondary Gmail, because I've got a few of these. I don't know if I've got a copy of this email anymore. I might have deleted it. Hang on. There we go. Right, so I went into the Google community, because this is one thing it says. It says like, go and post in here. And you can see here, my account has been stolen, please help, I cannot recover it myself, and here's the name of the account that was compromised. Here's what happened. Now, the problem is that it's not Google staff that reply to this. They can't. If they did, they get overwhelmed. This is like volunteers, okay? And this volunteer gave me this thing here, okay? Let's be realistic to read about recovery issues. It kind of triggered me a bit, you know, it was a stressful read, and I didn't fully understand. I mean, this text for me is like just bleeding into each other textually, and it's like really hard to separate out. It's an ASD thing, you know that. Anyway, what I did was I went to Twitter, and inside of Twitter, I saw briefly on Google someone saying YouTube support might be a help. So I was like, okay, I'll do that because I've got this YouTube account. So I put out a tweet on here. Now, I'm not going to replicate what I did because these guys are busy enough as it is, all right? But what I did was I just, from my home, I did a search for a YouTube, and I looked for any channel I thought might be able to help, okay, with YouTube. So it could be, you know, support or whatever. Now, the place I found in the end was Team YouTube. And you've got to check that these are good. You've got to check these are real, okay? Do your Google due diligence. Look at how many real followers they've got. Look at what they're posting, okay? That's really important. So, Team YouTube in here, okay? So there they are. Now, these are definitely the real deal, okay? And what I did was I followed them and then I tagged Team YouTube. Then what I put was, can you help me? My account has been stolen and locked using a USB, and I can't get in I have autism, so I am following the guide is very hard and doesn't seem to work. Okay, so I put the tag at the beginning of that, so at Team YouTube. There it is there. Now, within 30 minutes of seeing a tag with Team YouTube in, okay, they responded to me and they sent me a message. And in the message, they just asked me for a couple of extra details. You know, was I able to use the first form? Well, I wasn't. Remember what I said there? The first form doesn't really work in how to recover it. You go in, you've got to try and recover your account through that. So instead, what I did was I told them I couldn't do it, you know, and they said, well, let us look into it. They locked my YouTube account, which was important because it was already pretending to be a different account anyway. And also by locking it, it meant that, you know, they weren't going to start hopefully prizing around all my other stuff on my account. Now, the idea was that I would then get an email from the YouTube support team, because it'd be them that had emailed me. And then I could reply to them using the reference number they gave me. So I get the first email and it has the reference number in. And I'm like, brilliant, got it. Okay, yes. No second email. Now I'd found that first email in the junk. Okay, it said, is this spam at the top? And I clicked no. So second email, I'm waiting for it, nothing. Waiting for it, nothing. So in the end, I go back to Twitter. This is like 3 days later. Like, tag Team YouTube. I have not got my email. I don't know what to do. I am starting to panic. And they're like, well, you need to reply to the reference number email address. And the email that I had, the only one email I had was from noreply@google.com. So I write in the thing, well, do I reply to noreply@google.com? No response. So I tagged them and said, you know, I need help again. Because if you tag it in the main channel, don't overuse that sort of thing, then they will reply normally within 30 minutes. So they replied again, you really need to reply to this. And I didn't understand. I just thought they were being arseholes. But what it was is I'm not used to Gmail. And in Gmail, you scroll down, there's a little more arrow right at the bottom on the left. You click on that, it opens up again, and there's a little trash folder. One email in there from 4 days ago, and it was that team. So I reply, and I think it was about 3 hours later, they sent me, you know, this is your special link. The first one. It'll look like it doesn't work, they said, and that's fine as long as you get to a certain length, you know, it means they've got your details and they can start trying to recover your account. And they were dealing with the technical team for me, this person. They were like a liaison. I don't know if they'd been specially trained, but they were very, very good. And anyway, I think it took 12 hours and I got an email back. And it was like, good news, we have started securing your account properly. What we need you to do is log in, check over, find where all the suspicious stuff is in your account. So you're looking for stuff that you don't recognize and flagging it basically. And just see how it looks. So logged in. And it's strange because it's like a Google in a Google. So I'd made this backup account over here. And, oops, I've closed all my windows. Well done, mate. And I'd made that backup account over there. Now I'll just open up my other window. And, God, mine's gone now. Yep. Where was I at? Yep. So I'd made that backup account over there. And basically logged in through that backup account. And it logged in and pretended it was my existing Google account, okay, so it was complicated, but they kind of walked me through each step of it, which was important because I just wasn't sure. Okay, so then after that it was about another 12 hours and then the account was just returned, and then what you've got to do is you've got to go and change the main master password to something incredibly secure. You've got to put on as much protection as you possibly can and basically go from there. Now, some things to look out for, okay, and this is really, really important. When I first posted on YouTube, or to YouTube rather, on Twitter, or X or whatever you want to call it, okay, there was immediately replies from people saying like, I had the same problem and my friend on Instagram was able to fix it for me. here is his blah 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 blah. Okay, so this is what happened. Okay, I got people posting this. Now, initially I was in a fairly panicky state, but I didn't click on any of them because I managed to live to 52, you know. And basically what they're doing is they have like a scammy kind of thing where they're going to pretend to get your account back, and you just keep feeding them bitcoins. Basically, you keep feeding them dollars. They're going to say how they're getting your account back and how they're having to pay various fees to Google, and you're also paying for their time, and nothing gets back. So if you're not dealing with Google emails, and if you're not dealing with an official Twitter account, do not go to Instagram. Okay, no one there's going to be able to help you. The complexity of the way that a Google account works is like nothing that a hacker could hack in and get, and there aren't any fees to recover your account. That's not how it works. Now, here's another thing to talk about as well. Oh no, I don't have YouTube. Yeah, what if you don't have YouTube? You know, you can't go to the account creator team or anything like that. Well, Google Android support on Twitter. There's also Google Home support for if you have home supported devices. Google Store support is on there. Basically anything you have that uses Google is on there on Twitter and has a support handle. Use that support handle. Reach out, explain that you have difficulties with this kind of thing and it's hard for you, okay? And they will help. It must be some sort of policy or something, I don't know. But as soon as I said to them, you know, I'm going to need some extra help because this is really difficult, they broke everything down into easy to manage stages for me. And I had that account recovered within what? From start to finish, it was less than 24 hours. Which can seem like a long time, but in actual fact, it was a week for me because I couldn't find the junk email. So, just don't stress. Go for it. If you have a question, please ask me on here. Anyone who posts, oh, I have someone on Instagram who can do this, will be blocked and deleted. Okay? I'm talking about all of you scuzzy little wankers, so don't. In the meantime, have a great whatever day you're having. Deep breath. And out again. You've got this. Bye-bye for now.